I'm waiting to pick up my clothes from the dry cleaner. So I said, let me come and talk about prank phone calls. I should have made a video about this, but yo, we used to have so much fun playing on people's phones. I even got this crazy story that's like associated with playing on the phone too. But I just wanted to come and chit chat. I got about 20 minutes, so 108. Yeah, I'm about to get off here at 108. Uh Said my stuff should be ready. But anyway, pretty handsome. I'm pissed at you because you was in that challenge and you never contacted me. How you gonna click on this video and come in here and you ain't even listen? And I noticed, and listen, let me tell you something pretty handsome. I noticed your energy kind of changed because I thought that you was just like, oh, he's a bigger guy. He's this gonna be an easy win. And you put up a really good fight, but I wasn't gonna let you beat me. I was not going to no, listen. One thing I'm highly competitive in is making money and also competitions, you know? So I seen how you was coming up every day. I said, "Oh no, I will get up early in the morning and go hard in this competition to make sure that I get more steps than anybody who think they're gonna play with me. Anybody." So anyway, let me just say this too, right? Brandy, listen, Brandy, you commented on my community post this morning. I seen her post, right? So I made this post last night on my community wall because I was up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, I'm up and bored. I said, I feel like playing on somebody's phone, right? And here come Brandy about an hour or so ago. She was like, it would have been the perfect time for planting. It would have been the perfect time for packing, right? Now, listen, I seen Brandy comment on my page multiple times, so I know that she's a real supporter, right? I seen her comment. I said, Brandy, Brandy. And I thought for a second, I said, do I get smart with Brandy? I said, no, she's a sweetheart. She always comment, and I looked at her photo. I could feel her energy. She's a good person. And I said, I've already packed. But I really wanted to get smart with her, but I know that she's a supporter. And I know that Brandy somewhere, she probably the oldest, or she's used to telling people what to do. But you don't come under my damn post and tell me what the hell to do. Tell me it would have been the perfect time for packing. Brandy. Brandy. Randy, I love playing on the phone. Let me just tell you this, right? I've been playing on the phone since I was a little kid with my brothers, like just been trifling. Let me tell you, and I went to a like a private school at the uh, first, second, and third grade. I went to a private school, right? And I don't think these people realize the can of worms they done opened up. When I went to that school in first grade, I was already playing on the phone. I promise you. Promise you. And this is before, like, did we know about, I think we had to know about Star 67, right? And let me tell you, back in the day, let me know if you ever heard this before. When we used to play on the phone, people used to do this fake shit where they answer the phone and be like, operator, please trace this call. Who the hell you talking to? The operator ain't on the line talking about operator, please trace this call. And then it was even like this. I feel like it was a number that you could press to trace the call too. We was bad as hell. Anyway, I remember sometimes, you remember when everybody didn't have call waiting, right? Oh my God, we used to do stuff. It would have pissed our parents off. Like, so say for instance, I call your house and your mother's on the phone and y'all don't got call waiting. I would do an emergency breakthrough. Who the hell do you think you are to do an emergency breakthrough? So your mom on the phone conducting business on the damn phone or speaking to family or whatever. And it's like, excuse me, you have an emergency breakthrough from like what? We was trifling. Like we had my mother had to put a block on the phone because we kept calling 1-800 numbers trying to call damn Santa Claus. I think we ran her bill up to like $500 one time calling Santa Claus on a 1-800 number. Oh, we was bad on the phone. So anyway, right? Um, when I was in first grade and we went to this school, and I went to this Catholic school in Colony, New York, right? And when you go to this school, they would give everybody this booklet and it had every student's name and phone number and address in it. I don't even think they could do nothing like that today because you know how people be doxing and doing all types. But those was the good old wholesome days. But listen, I didn't care about, well, I did care about your address, obviously, right? I would get that book. I'd be like, oh, my friend Joel, he didn't even know I was doing it. His name was Joel. And then my friend Bobby Schmidt, too, right? These are white people. I'd be like, Bobby's gonna get pizza tonight. Yep, Bobby's getting pizza tonight. And Joel, his family owned this fish place in Colony, New York. too. I think they just closed. It was called like Bob and Ron's or something like that. But I say, yep, Joel's gonna get pizza tonight. I would go home and go through that damn directory, and they'd be like, I'm like, can I get a pizza to 22 Console Road or whatever? And I would just order pizza after pizza. And I'm telling you, it got to a point back in the day. I don't even think they do it anymore, right? Because now I think you got to pay for your pizza. There is no more COD. You know, with COD, cash on delivery, or whatever. Certain services you can do that when you're picking up, that you don't have to pay for it, right? But back in the day, these pizza we don't worry. I remember Pizza Baron that used to be on Central Ave. Pizza Baron, we used to order from them so much. Listen, I'm ordering pizzas to your motherfucking house. Promise you. Yep. And then we made them change the rules to where they would call you right back to be like, did you order a pizza to XYZ? Oh my God. So I did stuff like that all through first, second, and third grade at the private school, right? So then when I got into the public school, I started meeting different kids. And with your friends, you exchange your phone numbers, you know where they live at and stuff like that, right? We was ordering pizzas to the next door neighbor. I remember one time, oh, God forbid, right? One time my cousins, they aunt moved next door and she used to get on my nerves sometimes. And I ordered pizzas to her damn house, not realizing the waste is on the actual company. But I ordered pizzas to her damn house. Damn sure did. She used to get on my nerves. She used to be saying smart shit all the time. So I ordered pizzas to her house. I ordered pizzas to the next door neighbors' houses. I mean, the other people who lived upstairs too, because the lady, it was like this lady and her husband used to live there, and they had like this small baby, and her husband, he just used to look like mean all the time, or her boyfriend, whoever he was. Yep, ordered pizza today, ship. And then when I got into the public school, right? And then the phone, listen, the playing on the phone goes beyond ordering pizzas. So that was just one thing that we used to do, right? We used to call people and curse them out, do all types, right? So when I went to the public school, when I went to Philip Schuyler in Albany, right? I used to sit at this table with this boy named Josh and this kid named Daniel. I was bad as hell, but I was smart, right? So I remember when I was in fifth grade, I was still playing on the phone shenanigans, still playing on the phone, doing all types. Josh ain't never figured this shit out either, and his family actually purchased a pizza. So one day we was in school, and I think that was the day I actually got in trouble when I was in fifth grade, because my teacher he used to be like, you know what, you're doing so good, but you just keep talking like you, Josh, and Danny. And I think Daniel died too. Yep, me and him was born on the same day. I didn't even know that when we was in fifth grade, but I ended up speaking to one of his family members. He's like, oh, Daniel died. I'm like, wow. Yep, me, him, and Josh used to sit next to each other, and we used to just talk and talk and talk. It's so crazy that I actually was thinking about that earlier, because I made this post on my Facebook page talking about playing on the phone too. The same post. Most of the time when I make a post on Twitter or whatever, I copy and paste it and put it, different places. And don't try to search it because my page is private, so you won't find it in the search history. No, you won't. I know how that goes. Listen, I know how it goes. You won't find it. Anyway, so I posted it, and this girl who was in my class when we got in trouble, I seen her like the comment. Ain't that crazy when you be looking at yourself? You be like, wow, we knew each other since like fifth grade. We still be dying laughing in our early 40s, like still dying laughing at shit. One of my friends, me and her used to get in so much trouble because we just could not stop talking. I was very talkative, but I always got my work done. So anyway, Mr. LaChance, he brought me in the hallway. He was like, "You're gonna miss out on the honor roll if you don't stop talking." Still talking, and I was so mad that day. And I was like, "Josh is getting pizza to his house." It was kind of like my revenge because Josh was laughing at me because he brought me in the hallway. And Mr. LaChance, he brought me in the hallway trying to tell me I wasn't gonna make the honor roll if I kept talking. And know what, Mr. LaChance, I ain't give a fuck. I still kept talking, and I still had B's and A's too. He didn't put me on the honor roll. But if you think about that now, right? That is a control mechanism, because what does me talking and me having my work done have to do with the honor roll? And I'm telling you, each and every time my report card came out, I always had that comment on my, when they used to write it out or whatever, they was like, very talkative or whatever. I like to talk. And ain't shit changed. I like to talk. But he did not allow me to get on the honor roll. And I liked being on the honor roll back then because we had this pizza place across from my school on Washington Ave, and they used to do these huge slices of cheese pizza. And if I made the honor roll, my dad would give me like $10 or whatever, and I would go over there and be buying everybody a slice of pizza. Like have $10. That stretch when you're younger. You get a huge slice of pizza for $1. So I was a little mad, but whatever. Josh got pizza to his house that night. I ordered pizza, and he was like, "Oh my God, somebody ordered so many pizzas." Imagine that happening you at school and you just being quiet. I'm ordering pizza to your motherfucking house. That's how it's going. So anyway, y'all. Then we used to call people. I never forget, one time I was playing on the phone. I was doing these shenanigans up to like ninth, 10th grade playing on people's phone, right? So I remember one time in ninth grade, and this is a crazy story, right? I was playing on the phone with this girl. She was my father's girlfriend's sister at the time, right? She had epilepsy. Little do you know, this girl who lived around the corner from me, she was a B word. She was just really mean and nasty to people. Like she was. And the crazy thing about it was, if you look at her life in the now, her life is so turned upside down. Like, you would think, let me just tell you this, right? And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. What made me pay attention to this was my friend said this years ago, and she was like, do you notice that all of the people who we went to school with and they had every pair of Jordans or every whatever, that they're nobodies right now? Like, they're nobodies. They don't handle no business, they don't got nothing going on. And she comes to mind when I think of that. When I tell you, she used to try to make people feel so bad. Like, I never forget, like, yo, my friend Christy, who used to live around the corner from me, one day, like, we always at a school after school hanging out, and she was just like, "Bitch, you don't got more school clothes than me. You don't look better than me." She did this all in front of all of the little kids in the block. I think I spoke about this on my channel, but I just couldn't believe she did that. And it's just like, look at you now. You basically alcoholic and probably doing that crack too, because the way and always getting arrested for something stupid and silly. That girl thought she was a shit. Her father used to sell drugs. Her mother was a CNA, and this is where in our community we get that talk from when people be like, that's not a power couple. Because back then that was a power couple. Father sell a little drugs, mother do the CNA overnight. And she was doing all types of stuff overnight when her mother was working overnight, bringing guys in her house, doing all types of crazy stuff. But yeah, she used to just be talking crazy to like to people. But she had a new pair of sneakers every week. She just had new shit all the time, Jordans, Air Maxes. Like, she was just killing, but she was a nasty person under it all. So anyway, when we was in ninth grade, the girl I was up late one night, and my father's ex-girlfriend's sister, she had epilepsy. She was like 24 years old at this time. I'm in ninth grade, so I'm like 15 years old. Well, how old are you in ninth grade? 14, 15? Whatever. So we playing on the phone, and I said, call her house and curse her the fuck out. Curse her out, right? Mind you, this girl never really did nothing to me. I just don't. I'm like, listen, I'm one of those people. You could, and things leave a lasting impression on me forever. And it could be like not even necessarily how you did me, but it could be how you did another person. And I just never forgot how she talked to my friend that crazy around the corner, like in front of all of the kids after school. Like, just imagine a little black girl with her head going crazy, like, bitch, you don't look better than me. You don't got more school clothes than me. You don't do. She was just going off. And I said, oh, she's a nasty bitch. And that was her reputation. This was the same girl, and she's an Aquarius too. Listen, but this ain't the energy I got. She's an Aquarius too. And I know, like, listen, I'm going off a little tangent about her. I remember in ninth grade, when is it? Was it the 13s? Was it the 13s? The Jordans that came out, the 13s? They was the gray and the blue ones. I remember me and all of my friends. It was like this little DVD bootleg spot, whatever. But the guy used to go. Rest in peace to him too. He died like last year or so. But he used to go. Ricky. He used to go to New York City and get sneakers early. So me and my friends, we all had the Jordans like 2 weeks early, right? This girl, I want to say her name, but I had to be careful with that because when I remember I did a blind item on my community wall and people started saying this girl name in the comments. I'm like, damn, like, this is crazy. But anyway, I never forget we all had these Jordans. It was like in the winter time. When I tell you, this girl who was used to getting everything, she couldn't even look us in the face, and she knew that we all had the new J's, and she had to wait like 2 weeks to the release date, but she could not look us in. I said, she's a fucking hater. She's a hater because she what we ain't you ain't what we don't deserve to get a pair of Jordans early. That's crazy. I never have you ever experienced something like that in life where a person just you could just see they jealousy written all over them. I ain't gonna front to you. I could have a little envy or whatever, but you ain't gonna never know it. I wouldn't because that's weak shit. And listen, envy is better than jealousy because envy be like, damn, like I ain't envious to the point where I'm gonna trash talk you or try to do something to get it away from you. Like, damn, you got this and that. Like, I ain't going front. Her having all of those sneakers, her and her brother having mad sneakers or whatever. I was like, yep, when I get the money, I'm having mad sneakers. And that's kind of like, I think that's what kind of like made me like introduce me to the game of like just getting multiple sneakers, like. But anyway, so my father's ex-girlfriend's sister with the epilepsy, right? She cursed her out, talked crazy to her, kept calling her house or whatever, right? And I just put her up to it. Now, people with epilepsy, they have, different things going on with their brain and stuff. So this girl was 24 years old, but she probably had the mind of like a 13, 14-year old, like the same as me, right? But the sad thing about it was she had a seizure that night and died. And I'm like, damn. I could never tell XYZ about this story. Number one, I don't even speak to her. Even in adult age, I don't speak to this girl. Just you ever just grew up around certain people? Like she's just not my type of person. Like she's just not my kind of people. I could just put it like that. Like you ever go to school with somebody, right? Like me, I was a quiet kind of like introvert, extrovert, or whatever. But I would see people in school. I'd be like, oh, she looks so cool. Like she got like all this nice stuff, or he looks this way and he seemed mad cool. Then when you get to know these people, you realize you got more personality than them. You have more understanding about life. You just melt more well-rounded than them. And it's just like they get exalted a certain type of way because they have Jordans and stuff all like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or they have like certain material things. And once you peel back the layers, these people are nobodies. Promise you. They're literally nobodies. So I was just like, damn, she don't even know that the person who was cursing her ass out last night, they died. So that was just something like that would be on me. Like, I'm like, damn, like that was crazy. She was cursing her ass out for the old and the new. I said, curse her ass out. Yup. And she ended up dying. That was that. And you know what's so crazy? I'll never forget that because in ninth grade, that was our holiday in October when we was on Columbus Day. And that was that Saturday. That was that it was like that Sunday, Monday type of thing that we was playing on the phone. But yeah, those was the good old days, calling, getting on the chat line. We used to talk mad shit to people on the chat line. Have you ever got on the chat line? We used to be in them rooms. So it's like, say this is the room and I could hear your voice and I'm talking right now, right? I would just come in the room and just take over, put my mouth mad close to the phone, like, yo, shut the fuck up. I'd be talking crazy. We would be having so much fun on the chat line. Like, this is before social media, before all of that. So we had to do certain things to keep ourselves entertained. I would be calling them numbers in the back of the magazines, like, yo, the other day, also, I put this number up on my community wall, and I said, "Call to check the status of your stimulus, right? What stimulus? It ain't no stimulus, but when you call it, it's like this sex number or whatever. And y'all don't realize how nostalgic that is for me because we used to call those numbers back in the day just to hear what the hell they was talking about. Yo, them white bitches, they could act. She was like, "Try your time, lover." Like they be getting in they act on that shit. That's the time of day that we from though. Like those are the times like people like doing all that crazy shit. The Girl Six, I loved Girl Six. Have you ever seen that movie? I just like anything with playing on the phone. I do. Press that star 67. People will be like, operator, please trace this call, trying to scare you. Like, nigga, you ain't no. As long as I ain't threatening you or nothing, because you gonna call a phone company, you gonna it's pretty much probably like how it is now, where you got to get like a court order for them to see XYZ. But I would press star 67 on that ass and I'm dialing. I remember one time I called my friend, her aunt, rest in peace to her. She died a few years ago too. But I called her aunt, like, and I was like, I'm gonna prank your aunt tonight. And then her aunt would pick up the phone and she was in the church, and I would be like, I feel like praising God. And I would just start singing gospel. Praise him in the morning, praise him all night long. I would just be going in. She'd be like, oh my God, my aunt said somebody called her last night. It was singing church music. Yeah, because I didn't want to drag her like that because she's an older, sweet lady. She's an older, sweet lady. I didn't want to go in on her like that and talk crazy to her. So I just started singing gospel songs. Like, those was the good old days. Like my niece, she really got that in her too. Like my younger niece, she used to be doing it to my older niece, and she didn't even know who she was like. Oh, I'm gonna call you. She was like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you or something like that. She would be calling my niece to all the time. I'd be like, are you playing on the phone? And she'd be like, no, I didn't. And I'd be like, that was definitely you. And she would start laughing. Like she would be, yo. I love playing on the phone. I'm pretty sure y'all got crazy stories of playing on the phone too. Yep, but I was definitely good for ordering a pizza to your house. Yep, definitely good for that. What else? What else? Just a lot of stuff. Hold on, Frank and Lika. Let's see. But yeah, Brandy gonna come on my post earlier talking about it would be a good time for packing. You are a joker. I said I will say you are just a joker. Yep. What's up, Pam? No, no, no. They would be like has a potential and intelligent, but they tend to get distracted in class. Very talkative and disruptive. Exactly, Daily Dose. And I would never stop fucking talking. Never. Because listen, as long as them grades was right. But see, my dad, I figured him out at an early age, right? My mother, she graduated from high school in 11th grade. My dad, he didn't graduate high school, right? I don't know for what reason why he didn't graduate, but once I found that out and he told me at a young age, I don't know if he got his GED or what, but he told me he didn't graduate high school. So even like if I ain't make the honor roll and I would come home and I would have A's and B's, he'd be like, "Well, a B is not good enough and an A is not an A plus." And I'm thinking to myself, even in elementary, like, nigga, you ain't even fucking graduate high school. You got the nerve to tell me. See, I knew too much at it. That was a problem back then in that era. You knew too much about what was real and what was not. Like I did. I knew all of the business. Like, what? How you gonna tell me this ain't good enough, nigga? You ain't even graduate. But yeah, leave your comments below. Let me know what if you was one of those kids who played on the phone. Let me know like any type of story of anything that you've done. I'm pretty sure it's stuff that I'm forgetting about. But yeah, I was just notorious. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, we going through the yellow pages and we playing on your phone. Point blank. I don't know what I would say or shoot. Order pizzas to random people house. Like you know what I mean? That was so much waste back then. I'm telling you, we changed, we set the pace. We changed the rules. We made the pizza company start calling people and confirming if they placed the order or not. That's crazy. That is crazy. Listen, leave your comment below. Let me know what your stories are. And yeah, let me go get these clothes out of the dry cleaner because the guy's waving at me now. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm probably gonna do an upload today too. Peace.